A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant development, Britain, France, and Germany, collectively known as the E3, are gearing up to resume negotiations with Iran regarding its nuclear program in the coming days. This announcement comes from a German diplomatic source, highlighting the urgency of the situation as international pressure mounts on Tehran to return to the negotiating table. The E3 nations have made it clear that if Iran does not engage in constructive talks, they may activate the snapback mechanism to reinstate international sanctions that were lifted under the 2015 nuclear deal, formerly known as the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, JCPOA. The discussions are expected to take place next week, with the E3 currently in contact with Iranian officials to finalize the date and location. Reports from Iran's Tasnim news agency indicate that Tehran has agreed to these talks, although details remain under consultation. This development follows a recent call between Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi and his counterparts from Britain, France, and Germany, as well as the European Union's foreign policy chief, Kaja Kallas. During this call, the E3 reiterated the importance of Iran's compliance with the terms of the JCPOA, warning that failure to make progress could lead to the reimposition of sanctions. The backdrop to these negotiations is fraught with tension. Iran's nuclear program has long been a source of concern for the international community. The 2015 JCPOA was designed to limit Tehran's nuclear activities in exchange for sanctions relief, but the agreement began to unravel in 2018 when the United States withdrew under then-President Donald Trump, reimposing stringent sanctions on Iran. Since then, the situation has only escalated, particularly after a series of military actions involving the US and Israel targeting Iranian nuclear sites. The E3 nations have expressed their commitment to ensuring that Iran never acquires nuclear weapons. A German diplomatic source emphasized the need for a sustainable and verifiable diplomatic solution that addresses the security interests of the international community. The urgency of these talks is underscored by the potential for a snapback of sanctions if no agreement is reached by the end of the summer. In recent weeks, tensions have flared as the US conducted airstrikes on 3 Iranian nuclear sites, prompting Iran to retaliate with strikes on US military bases in the region. This cycle of aggression has heightened fears of a broader conflict, making diplomatic efforts all the more critical. French President Emmanuel Macron has also weighed in on the situation, stating that while it is imperative to prevent Iran from developing nuclear weapons, military strikes would only exacerbate chaos in the region. He has called for a swift return to diplomatic discussions to address the nuclear and ballistic questions surrounding Iran's program. As the E3 prepare for these crucial talks, the world watches closely. The stakes are high, and the outcome of these negotiations could have far-reaching implications not only for Iran, but for global security as a whole. The international community remains hopeful that diplomacy will prevail and that a peaceful resolution can be achieved. However, the clock is ticking, and the pressure is mounting on all parties involved to find common ground and avoid a return to the harsh realities of sanctions and conflict. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.